Hi everyone. Today I'm coming on with the Get to Know Me tag. This one was started by our very own Patti with Life with Patti here on YouTube. She posted her video up yesterday and lo and behold, she tagged me. So here it is. It's about 14 questions just to get to know us as people and who we are and literally just to get to know each other a little bit better. It was great to hear her answers. I'm excited to answer the questions, and so we'll just jump right on in. Number one is, what is your name and who named you? My name is Dahlia. I have no middle name. My mother named me, but it was funny because apparently my name she stole from her sister. And her sister, who's older than my mother, said if she ever had a daughter, she was going to name her Dahlia. Well, my mother had me first and stole the name. And my cousin's name is now Delia or Delia, depending on how you say it. In the Latin community, we say Delia. But they live in California, so they just say Delia. So yeah, my mother was a thief. She stole my name. How many siblings do you have? From my mother, I am an only child. From my father, I have a sister. There's 14-year difference between me and my sister, so I am the oldest. And then I have two half-brothers. And then my sister and my oldest of the brothers, the two, is from one wife. And then my youngest brother was from my father's third wife. And I have two stepbrothers from that side. So I have a lot of brothers and sister. Prefer me. I grew up by myself. I'm an only child from my mother, so yes, sometimes I am, well, no, not sometimes, I am spoiled. Even at my age, I'm still spoiled. Question number 3, were you close with your cousins growing up? I had one cousin that growing up, we were fairly close. And when I say growing up, like up to like 6, 7, 8 years old. And then they moved. I think I'm more closer with my cousins now that we're all grown and we have our own families than I ever was. Again, I was an only child, and my mother's siblings lived very far away. I have an uncle in North Carolina. I have another one here in New York, and an aunt in California. So it was kind of difficult to be able to build those relationships with your cousins. Question number 4, do you have or did you have a special bond with your grandparents? Because my parents married very young and divorced when I was 4, I was pretty much raised by my grandparents, my father's parents, until the age of 12. Yeah, I did all my elementary school years with them. My grandfather spoiled me rotten. My grandmother was the disciplinarian, old school disciplinarian. But my grandmother, that grandmother, was also the one that taught me how to crochet, got me exposed to doing crafts. She taught me how to do latch hook. So I want to say that I've had a very good relationship with them. Could it have been more? Probably. But because I live with them, I think the special bond was just there without even trying. My mother's parents, my grandparents from my mother's side, I never got to know my grandfather, her father, because he passed away at when she was very young. And my grandmother, she lived in Puerto Rico, and I used to spend a lot of summers. Um, Back when you were able to fly a 4 and 5 year old without an adult and the attendants would take care of you. Yeah, that's how I used to travel to Puerto Rico and spend my summers there, which I've had some great, great memories there. So I had a very good relationship with her as well as my step grandfather, which was her second husband. Um, Number 5, did you enjoy high school? I did enjoy high school. I also got into a lot of trouble in high school, um, but it wasn't horrible. Like it. I see kids nowadays and the things that they have to face. Um, I did enjoy it. I had a lot of friends, and we did a lot of things. My high school also had its own football field and football team, which here in New York, especially in the Bronx, sometimes is unheard of. So we did a lot of pep rallies and that kind of stuff. I really did enjoy my high school years. What are your hobbies? Paper crafting, anything paper related. Um, I've done crochet, I've done latch hook, I can't knit. I have such a hard time with tension on knitting. I do a lot of DIYs, but paper crafting is my favorite, with card making being my number one. What do you do to relieve stress when stressed? I tend to like to be alone, um, just so I can regroup and rethink. I don't get stressed that often. I don't allow things to bother me. Um, I do add a lot of humor into things. I think laughter has always been a good source of stress relief and tension relief. Um, and sometimes, I mean, even when I go to work now and I'm with my coworkers and um, we're maintaining that 6, 7, 8 feet distance, we joke around and we'll yell at each other, "Do you hear me now? Do you hear me now?" Just to kind of lighten up the somber mood. But on the rare occasions that I do get very, very overwhelmed or stressed, I tend to go to my happy place. I'll reorganize my craft space. I try not to do any crafts because I've noticed that since I'm not focused, my measurements are off, it becomes a disaster, I'm wasting materials. But I'll just come around and just fix my area and take a look at different things that I've received or things that I want to try or to make. And my crafting is my happy place, even though it's a mess, but it's my happy place. So that's where I go. Who is the longest friend you have? The longest friend I have lives in Florida. We don't talk as often. I've known her since I was 12 years old, and I am going to be 49 this year. My BFF, the one that sent me these boxes up here, lives in Georgia. I've known her since I was 14, since high school. And we talk almost every day, if not every other day. Sometimes we'll let a few days go by and then we're on the phone for like an hour, 2 hours, just catching up on life. Her boys are my godsons. She is my ride or die. It's been 35 years strong that we have stayed in contact. She's come and stayed over, visited. It's harder for me to go visit hers because I work retail, so she always comes to me. But yeah, she is my longest friend, 35 years. What is your favorite movie? I am a TV head. I love watching TV. I go through stages. Like, I loved The Mummy, the whole series. I absolutely love Jurassic Park. And in Jurassic World, the last one that they did, well, not the last one, but the one before the last one, I broke down and I bought the Funko Pop of Blue. And it's the only Funko Pop that I own because I refuse to fall into that trap. But right now it's Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. And I've done The Mummy. There's a few of them, but I would say Jurassic, all the Jurassic Park movies. Oh, Harry Potter. I can watch that all day, every day. But there's a few. But all the Jurassic movies will fall in that category. What is your favorite book? Hands down, Bridges of Madison County. Hands down. I'm awful with names. I know his last name is Wallace. I should be ashamed of myself. I'm a bookseller. His last name is Wallace. It came out in the early 90s, and it was on the bestsellers for years. And they did do a movie with Clint Eastwood and Meryl Streep. The movie was amazing. I loved it, but I always think that the book is better. It is my all-time favorite book, Bridges of Madison County. Absolutely. Favorite things to do on a stormy day. I curl up on the couch. I make it a movie day. I bring out the dark, rainy movies like Godzilla. I've watched Underworld because it's always raining in there. Any kind of, it just becomes one of those, let's just binge watch something. Spend some quality time with my husband. We'll curl up on the couch and just bum for the rest of the day because it's just dark and dreary. Years ago when my children were smaller, during rainstorms or thunderstorms, we used to enjoy going outside and running around in the rain. Now that they're older, they don't appreciate it as much, but for them when they were little, and that would mean like my youngest was 4, which made my second oldest 6 or 7, and my daughter 13, and we would just all go out there and just run around in the rain and come home drenched. Now they all do what I do, just stay home and watch TV and curl up somewhere with some popcorn and just make it a day. The next question is favorite things to do when the weather is perfect. I'm a homebody. And because I live in the city, there's not like walks that we can do around the neighborhood or something local that we can go to. Maybe last spring, me and my husband on a really pretty day, we've gone out and done brunch and done some window shopping. But I'm mainly a homebody. I like to stay home. I only go out if I need to, which is why this whole shelter in place is not hurting me too bad, because I just like being at home. Do you prefer the big city or a small town? I live in the city, and if I had to answer this maybe 10, 20 years ago, I would say the city. I like to be able to move around. But because I am a home person, as I've gotten older, I'm more content being at home around my house and how I have it. I find the comforts here. I would love a small town. I would love that when I finally do retire that I can leave New York City, preferably somewhere south, and have a porch that I can come out to in the morning, or a backyard that I can sit in, and just get some fresh air and enjoy the quiet for a change. So right now I'm torn. The city is where I live, but ultimately I want to end up in a nice small town, a nice quiet small town. And the last question is, what is the first thing you want to do when this virus is over or under control? I want to go shopping. I want to go into a craft store. I want to go into a thrift store. I want to be able to look around and find little hidden treasures. this is it's the hardest. Yeah, I want to be able to go to those places that you just can't do, that you just can't go to right now. Shopping. I think the thrift store will probably be my first place that I'll go, because you never know what you're going to find there, and the deals are amazing. I can't think of nothing else but shop, because I haven't shopped for anything. So these are the questions, and you can see the questions take us to delve. Can't get my words right. The questions are geared to get to know you as an individual, outside of your crafting and what the rest of your YouTube family knows you for. Whether it's your style, your creativity, your innovativeness, kind of get to know the crafter behind the crafting. Does that make sense? This was fun. I'm not literally going to tag anyone. I'm going to open it out to anyone who would love to share a little bit more about themselves. I just noticed before I started filming that Country Girl First uploaded her, so I'm excited because she's such a great storyteller. There's a story behind every answer, so I can't wait to do that. And if you don't get an opportunity to go check her out and you happen to see mine, please go down in my description box below. You'll see the link for Miss Patti, which is Life with Patti. She's the creator of this Get to Know Me tag, as well as Country Girl First. Those are the only other two that I know. All right, as always, I thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing your videos, and I'll see you at the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay blessed, and stay crafty.